Hello everyone and welcome to Still Meditation. My name is Lella and tonight we're going to be doing Dr. Dan Siegel's Wheel of Awareness. Now some of you may have noticed that I didn't stream last week and I took an evening off. Like you, kind of beginning to languish doing this during this pandemic. I'm sure in your own provinces or states or wherever you may be located, the numbers aren't pleasant, and just knowing about the suffering of others really wears heavily on us. So I felt that evening I really just couldn't bring something to you authentically, so I decided to give myself a night just to recover. But I'm back this week, and this week I'm going to cover with you the Wheel of Awareness. This meditation, I think, is one of my favorites. It really encompasses many forms of different consciousness, and really it helps you do like a tour of everything that you experience. So Dr. Siegel is a neurobiologist. I think he's a physician as well, and he's done a lot of work on the mind, understanding what the mind is, how it develops through the lifetime, and he came up with this meditation. So first of all, think of a wheel. And it could be a wheel on a bicycle, or you can go back to wagon wheels from the Old West. And in the center of the wheel, there is a hub. And that hub is your center of awareness. It's where everything that you experience consciously happens and ends. From this wheel, we're going to send, imagine a spoke, as a spoke in a wheel, to the rim, to the outer rim of the wheel. And the wheel itself is divided into 4 quadrants. The first one looks at the 5 senses. So we're going to take a look at what does that mean and how we can consciously become aware of our 5 senses. The second quadrant goes inside the body and looks at the different sensations that we experience. And you may, if you've done any meditations with me, recognize this as the body scan. The third quadrant looks at any form of mental activity. So this is thoughts, images, feelings, emotions that come up in the mind. And then the last quadrant, which may be new for you, is looking at the sensation of our relatedness, our interconnectedness with pretty much everything in the world. So that might be something new for you. So I have my notes, because I want to get this right for you. This may take about a good 25 minutes or so. So again, let's get started. So I will start and end the meditation with my bell, and I will be guiding you through the process. If at any point you feel uncomfortable, or maybe this is triggering something that is too much for you, give yourself permission to come out of the meditation. Maybe you aren't up for it this evening. Maybe just watch it. Just observe what is happening. Be kind to yourself and allow yourself the latitude to experience things at the level that you are capable of. So the Wheel of Awareness really allows you to experience both internal and external stimuli. And this constant sending of spokes between the center of awareness, so your consciousness, and the different stimuli that you're getting, either internal or external, is allowing you to increase your ability to focus. It also, what it does is recognizes that these things are happening. So it takes you that one step away from that recurrent thought, that automatic reaction. So it really is a way for you to integrate all the different types of consciousness that are within your body. So let's get started. So I invite you to take a stance for this meditation, something that is comfortable for you. So it can be seated, lying down on a cushion, couch, chair, even standing, or if you prefer to walk around. Whatever you feel you need in this moment to help you maintain focus, and be comfortable with the practice. Either keep your eyes closed if that's available to you, or just try to keep an unfocused gaze. Really, it's always up to you. If you find you need to move during the meditation, then do so. And at this point right now, in your position, see if you can settle yourself a little bit. Maybe shifting your position just to make yourself maybe 10% more comfortable. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring awareness to our breath. And our breath is going to act like our hub of awareness, our hub of consciousness. And you can place this hub wherever you want within your body. So if you feel your breath strongest at your nose or your throat, your chest, or your abdomen, wherever it is for you, find that area that is most comfortable for you and visualize that as your hub. Some people call it their safe space. Some people call it their brave space. It's your area from which your consciousness will become aware. So let's take a few deep breaths. And then let your breath just go back to its regular pace. And let's do a check-in. Let's see, are there any outstanding thoughts in your brain from the busyness of the day? Do you have any aches or pains that are calling attention to you? Let's see if we can soften those right now. And turn our attention to our breath. And just remember, throughout this meditation, thoughts will come in, sensations will arise, and that's perfectly normal. When that happens, and you forget what we're working on right now, just go back to your breath and just wait for the next guidance. So now I invite you to send out your first spoke of awareness to the rim. It's going to be in the first quadrant, which is our 5 senses. And I'd like you to bring your awareness to hearing. See if you can hear sounds in the room you are in, maybe from outside. Or maybe you're not hearing anything at all. And that's okay. Now let's shift that spoke just a bit, and let's bring our awareness to the sense of sight. Now if your eyes are closed, maybe you can see sort of the shadow of light against your eyelids. If your eyes are open, take in any of the objects that are around you. Now let's slightly shift the spoke and bring your awareness to the sense of smell. And lastly, let's shift the spoke and turn our attention to the sense of touch. Be it the clothes on your skin, your body resting on a chair or cushion. Now let's bring that spoke back to our hub. Let's take a deep breath. And let's bring our attention to the body. So we'll start with the muscles and bones of our face. Your jaw, your cheekbones, your forehead, your ears. And see if you can detect any sensation. Let's move our awareness up to the top, back, and sides of the head. Maybe you can feel the hair on your head. At any time, if a thought comes in or a sensation arises in another part of the body, just become aware of it and bring your attention back. In this case, is the head. And so move our awareness now to our neck and our shoulders. And from our shoulders down our arms, forearms to our wrists and our hands and fingers. In our back, let's move down the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, feeling the muscles in our back. Down to our hip area. From here, we extend down our legs, our thighs, knees, our shins, to our feet, and to our toes. Now let's move back up our legs to our pelvic area, and let's go inside, deep within our body, to start feel any sensation within the organs. So see if you can feel any sensation in your abdomen, maybe a sense of fullness, breathing slowly up to your stomach and your solar plexus. And let's feel the sensation of breathing in our lungs. Can you travel in deeper and feel your heart beating? Now let's travel up upper chest, our throat, and back to our face. And let's take a moment, bring our awareness to our whole body, from the top of our head to the tip of our toes. And now let's dissolve this spoke, bring it back to our hub, and let's take a nice deep breath. And this time, we'll send a spoke out from our hub to the third quadrant, which contains all forms of mental activities. This could be emotions, thoughts, memories, feelings, beliefs, images, attitudes, really any form of mental activity. And as before, when we said a thought comes in, just to observe it and go back to breath, we're now going to do the opposite. We're going to welcome these thoughts and just recognize what they are, how they come in. If a thought or feeling arises that you find uncomfortable or a little difficult to deal with, see if you can soften it and sit with it a bit. It's been shown that that which you resist tends to persist. But if the sensation or emotion or feeling or thought is not that heavy, is something that you can bear to feel the uncomfortable feeling, then you're taking the step to soften it, to acknowledge it, and not let it take you over. Just be kind to yourself. Some thoughts can be more difficult than others. So then now that you've let some thoughts come in the next part, let's look at how these thoughts arise. Do they overlap one another? Do they just spontaneously appear? Do they blend into one another? Are there any gaps? And how do those gaps feel? So just bring a sense of curiosity and awareness to how these thoughts end up here in your mind. See if you can notice when they end. Now let's take a deep breath. And dissolve this particular spoke. Let's go back to our hub of awareness. And let's move to the final quadrant. Now let's imagine sending a spoke out to the fourth quadrant. And we're going to experience our relationships with those both close and far from us. So let's bring to mind someone that is close to you, and let's imagine them in your mind's eye. So imagine them standing before you. And now let's bring to our awareness what feelings and emotions arise when we look upon this person. It could be affection, it could be love, maybe it's coolness. There's no right or wrong answer. And now let's imagine sending positive energy towards this person. Now let's bring to mind some family members. And let's let ourselves become aware of the emotions and sensations that arise when we think upon them. And let us share some positive energy with these family members as well. Now let's bring to mind friends, both close and far. And if memories arise, it's okay. Along with it, just sense the feelings that arise, the sensations, as you bring to mind your friends. And now let's send some positive energy to this group that are dear to us. Now let's widen our awareness and bring to mind people that you interact with, either colleagues, maybe people in your neighborhood, different businesses. And let's send them some positive energy. Let's go wider still and bring to mind the people in our community, in our cities, in our province or state, and then to our country. And let us send each and every one some positive energy. And now, let's broaden our mind and envision every living creature on this planet. And let us send the warmth and the positive energy to all of us that share this fragile planet. And lastly, let us send some positive energy to those that came before us, to our ancestors, to the people that paved the way for us and made our life easier. Let's send a special, warm and positive energy to them in thanks. So let's take a deep breath in. And dissolve that smoke and return to our hub of awareness. And let's take a moment to just do a scan of our body, of our mind, as we are in this present moment. And maybe start wiggling your toes. And slowly bring yourself back to the space you are in. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And with every meditation, it is customary to dedicate to someone or something. And the phrasing you use is, I dedicate the merit of this practice. And then you finish the sentence. So for myself, I dedicate the merit of this practice to all those right now who are struggling with their mental health. And I bring and wish them some solace, some strength, and something to help them during this difficult time. I'd also ask you now, based on the practice that we've just done, what do you know now? From your tour of the different forms of consciousness, the different areas of external, internal stimuli, did you learn something new? I love this meditation. I just think it's absolutely fantastic. I just love the way you just go through all different parts of your body and mind, and you really bring yourself out into the interconnectedness that we are in this world. And that's a lot of work that Dan Siegel is doing, is bringing the concept of not just me and we, but something that he calls mui, whereas this exchange of energy that happens between individuals. So when that we're sending out this positive vibe, it's not just granola type stuff. There is actually something going forth. And there have been some studies done, especially among Buddhist monks, where they show that there's shared energy between them. It's absolutely fascinating. So I hope you really enjoyed this. Again, it's one of my favorites, and it really does help you bring an integrated mind, a healthy mind, and helping you to stop those recurring thoughts. So I wish you all very well. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them on the YouTube site. My email is there as well, so you can definitely reach out to me. And